You're either deadly scared of them, or you love them. Snakes are one of those creatures that seem like they have the simplest bodies and structures, but turn out to be quite complex. Living without any limbs or prominent body parts must be hard, but not for these serpents. Being a snake must be unusual. Sometimes people poke around with you for no reason. Other times, people annoy you for climbing a coconut tree. However, you should stick around to find out the biggest snake ever caught. Here are the 10 biggest snakes ever caught on camera. Number 10. Snake picked up by crane. Creepy crawlers can scare anyone. However, you can't always ignore them. Sometimes, construction workers need to do their job. This snake was crawling around the place where a few workers were cleaning up in the Dominican rainforest. When they came across this absolutely massive serpent, they were shocked to see something like this could actually exist. After a few moments of shock, they had to get it out of there with the only way they could think of, by lifting the beast with a crane. You might think this is some sort of CGI work, but it's all real. In fact, this clip went viral and scared millions of people everywhere. Number 9. Fluffy the Snakezilla. If you're someone who's into reptiles, then you definitely know about Fluffy. She might not look as friendly as her name, but she's definitely popular. Since she was the most prized possession of the Columbia Zoo, there was a whole documentary made on her and how big she could get. Like in most reticular pythons, she grew up to be 22.8 feet. She was starring in a documentary, but because of her old age, she passed away before it could be finished. Luckily, she lived a very happy life of 18 years. Fluffy the Snakezilla was definitely a specimen to be remembered and embraced.
Before we move on, we've got a speed challenge for you. If you subscribe to Facts Junkie and hit the bell icon in the next 5 seconds, you'll win 10 years of incredible luck. Give it a shot. It actually works.
Number 8. Titanoboa seen in a lake. Going swimming in Brazil is no joke. Sure, you get a really good view and even get a good amount of sunshine, but you might also have to deal with a huge snake. This gigantic snake was seen in a lake, and the local people immediately started calling it a Titanoboa. Even though the Titanoboa has been extinct for years and years, people were convinced that it had resurfaced when they looked at the sheer size of this monstrosity, which was estimated to be about 26 feet. Luckily, the locals couldn't harm the wildlife as this snake was found on an environmental commitment register farm. If any scientists want to confirm this is a Titanoboa, you know where to go. Number 7. Anaconda fights man. When you see a predator, the most sensible thing to do is leave it alone or walk away quietly before it catches you. However, these fishermen wanted to add to the chaos of encountering a snake when they saw action laws. Many species of snakes are found in Brazil, and considering the fishermen were local, they should have known better. This snake could have easily turned on them and bit one of them. Number 6. Giant anaconda in Amazon River. Anacondas are definitely the most known snakes when it comes to size. Some of these can grow up to 30 feet and up to 500 pounds. They are a huge fan of tropic places and are even usually found in the tropical waters. Since they're quite well adapted to life in the water, it's easy for them to hunt underwater too. You can usually see them on the surface since their nose and eyes are located on the top of their head, and so they try to stay afloat so that they're alerted at all times. What's scary is that they're actually faster in the water than they are on land. They can swim and reach a speed of up to 10 miles per hour, while on land it's just 5. Number 5. Reticulated python at Naples Zoo. South Africa has enough wild animals to scare even the biggest daredevils. Sometimes, these animals just need a spot to rest and end up sitting in a place that belongs to humans. While a family was out looking at the wonders of nature in the Kruger Park, this 12-foot rock python made its way inside their car. The snake was probably just looking for a cool and comfortable spot to rest in. The family couldn't really do much at the time. In fact, they had no idea that there was a huge serpent sitting in their engine trying to take a nap. Once they opened up the engine and realized what was going on, they tapped the snake once. Soon after that, it got out of the car by itself. Don't worry, no one was hurt and the snake was quick to leave too. Number 4. Huge anaconda on the road. Finding snakes in the wild grass or even in trees isn't that uncommon, but seeing out on the open road is definitely startling. This terrifying anaconda appeared near the city of Porto Velho in Brazil and caused an awful traffic jam. Every single car on the road had to stop because either they were curious about the snake or too scared to pass by. The anaconda was about 13 feet long and over 65 pounds. Snakes don't particularly like to cross roads, but sometimes they have to as roads divide forest, wetlands, and many other natural habitats. It's good that the nearby people didn't freak out much and calmly let the snakes move across and climb over the fence. Another reason why snakes might be found on roads is that roads provide them with warmth. Since thermoregulation is extremely important to snakes, they love to hide in warm spots. Number 3. Giant coconut-eating snake. The general public aren't snake experts. That's why many people couldn't figure out which snake was this. Some claimed that it was an anaconda. Some said that it was a reticulated python. However, this is a giant brown tree snake. There's land snakes, sea snakes, and even tree snakes now. Most snakes can't climb trees, but this one is quite special. These tree snakes might not have any limbs that can help them climb upwards, but they do have incredible muscular power, which lets them climb in a very weird way. This one wraps itself around the tree, then climbs upwards while the bottom releases its grip gradually all at once. It's a difficult task to do, but anything for some good coconut. These serpents can twist their bodies into a lasso shape and make their way to the top. Pretty weird, right? Number 2. Ivory reticulated python. Generally, we see snakes exclusively in dark colors, since that's what helps them hide better. But here is one that's so vibrantly white that you can't take your eyes off of it. This is a rare ivory reticulated python, which is one of the biggest in the world. They are large predators, so they're always aggressive. But this one was just trying to protect its eggs while the caretaker kept poking around. Even though the caretaker was experienced, he was still hesitant since these creatures are incredibly strong. In fact, this species is among the few ones that can actually swallow a whole human in one go. Their jaws can open wide enough for them to gobble up a human and successfully fly digest it. The fact that they generally grow up to be about over 16 feet doesn't help either. This one here is easily about 20 feet. One wrong move and the caretaker would get a bite right in the face. Number 1. Medusa. Finally, we have the world's biggest snake, Medusa. This snake is actually in the Guinness World Records book under the reptile of the largest snake in captivity. It's 25 feet and 2 inches, which is quite impressive. The 8-year-old snake weighs up to 350 pounds. To keep up with her luxurious lifestyle, she eats a combination of rabbits, hogs, and deer every 2 weeks. The reticulated python is owned by Full Moon Productions in Kansas City. They usually keep the giant snake all coiled up in a corner as a haunted house called the Edge of Hell. Usually, pythons can be quite wild and unpredictable, but Medusa is fed regularly, which keeps her in check and avoids any mishaps. Sometimes, she even purrs like a cat, and she's happy and hisses when Chess is annoyed with anyone. She definitely now shows to get the message across. Alright, comment below which of these snakes spooked you out the most. Don't forget to like the video, subscribe to Facts Junkie, and hit the bell icon for more. See you at the next one.